Bernie Sanders, he's warning the Democratic Party to make sure that they do something as the upcoming midterm elections approach. And we know that there's gonna be disaster if they don't. He's suggesting an honest and a strong approach for them to call out on all these issues, but also pointing out the two Democrats, supposedly, that are stopping Biden's complete agenda by name and what they're doing. Sounds like something we've been talking about a lot. Let's go to the details of what Bernie Sanders had to say. He said, you really can't win an election with a bumper sticker that says, well, we can't do much, but the other side is worse. The Republicans stand an excellent chance of gaining control of the House and quite possibly the Senate. Again, this is Bernie Sanders. While the GOP's anti-abortion stance and opposition to more sweeping firearm restrictions may help Democrats, he warned that if they, quote, think that they're gonna march to victory based on those issues, I think that that is not correct. Also, he said his messaging, Bernie Sanders was saying what the messaging should be when it comes to it is this. Sanders wants an even more sustained focus from Biden, advising him to say, I wanna raise the minimum wage. I wanna deal with Medicare. I wanna deal with housing. I wanna deal with climate. I can't do it. I need more votes. Sanders is also leaning on Biden to do as much as he can through executive action on those issues. That illegal thing that only Republicans do, that executive action stuff. So again, this is Bernie Sanders, who is not a 35-year-old brand new senator. I think he's older than Joe Biden.
Yeah, a tiny bit.
But it doesn't have to be where you're thinking, oh, we're with the old group. This is the way we talk. This is the way we approach politics. He's actually taking the pulse of the country and seeing where the supporters and the votes come from. And he said, how about we do those things that we said we're gonna do, those folks that voted and got us in. It's almost too easy. In fact, it causes more scheming and planning to not do the things that you said you'll do, because they seem pretty simple. People said, we'll support you if you do these things, especially since you said you'll do those things. And that guy who did all that other stuff, the last president, let's not go in that direction. But instead you lean that way policy-wise.
So Jared was being sarcastic about the executive orders because Biden said on Jimmy Kimmel that he thinks it's unconstitutional. That's such a wrong and unstrategic, I'm trying to be polite, unstrategic thing to say, because then the minute you do any executive orders, they're gonna say, hey, remember when he said on Jimmy Kimmel that it was unconstitutional? Well, it requires nuance. What kind of executive orders? But you just gave the game away right back into their hands, because he just can't, Biden doesn't care, he doesn't do strategy. So Bernie's right, Biden could do a lot through executive action, and then he could actually make the case for doing these things that Biden said were part of his agenda. But the thing that Bernie will not acknowledge, although he's about to do something really good, okay, so hold for it. And it's a good first step. But he can't acknowledge that Biden doesn't mean it, and the Democratic Party never meant any of these things. I mean, Bernie mentioned minimum wage. We forced a vote on that, and guess what happened when they voted? 8 Democrats voted with the Republicans. It lost easily, 58-42, wasn't even close. Biden's top 2 allies in the Senate voted against minimum wage. You know why? They never wanted minimum wage to be higher. They were always lying. Like mainstream media, but you can't call a politician a liar, can you? Yeah, of course you can. You're a journalist, you're supposed to challenge the powerful. No, I thought I was supposed to kiss their ass. No, they're lying. Joe Biden sent his top 2 allies in the Senate to kill a higher minimum wage because he never meant it. He's a liar. It's super obvious if you actually follow politics and you're not a child like every mainstream media reporter. Well, what money? What votes? Oh, the Delaware senators? I never noticed.
The only reason why you say those 8 senators and those other 2 that crossed over and voted with Republicans is because Biden's been talking about them ever since.
Yeah, Biden's never once mentioned it because he's one of the guys who did it. But let's get to Bernie's good
Sanders, because this is what should happen according to Bernie Sanders. Say to the American people, look, we don't have the votes to do it right now. We have 2 corporate Democrats who are not gonna be with us. The leadership has got to go out and say that we don't have the votes to pass anything significant right now. Sorry, you got 48 votes and we need more to pass it. That should be the message of this campaign, but he went further. 2 corporate Democrats, Senator Manchin and Senator Sinema, sabotaged Build Back Better. And it has been downhill ever since for the Democratic Party. Now, in response to this, Sinema didn't have much to say, but as we know, Joe Manchin, he's quick to jump back when someone criticizes him with facts. So he said this: I've never berated Senator Sanders for his socialist views. Yeah, just did. It is a shame that he refuses to accept the more moderate views I share with my constituents. His constituents that don't share those moderate views, because when you ask them case by case, specifically the things that are included in Build Back Better, which he was a part of shutting down, they're like, yes. But he said he agrees with his constituents, which the response should be, no, you don't. But he can't say that. Let's look at some of the things that Manchin has killed. Let's look at these quick headlines. Democrats outraged after Manchin opposes Biden's spending bill. Joe Manchin opposes SEC climate disclosure rule, says it targets fossil fuel companies. Manchin and other senators are opposed to plans to overhaul VA healthcare. Manchin to oppose Democratic bill guaranteeing abortion access. And lastly, Manchin opposes House gun safety bills, underscoring Democratic divide over gun control. Democratic divide over gun control. So that's the headline. Democrats aren't really sure where they stand on gun control.
Okay, guys, this is really important. Bernie did one thing two things that were terrific there. The first one was he called them corporate Democrats. It's almost never said in the press. It's almost never said by a Democratic politician. So thank you, Bernie. Finally someone called them what they are. And it makes a difference because it makes people go, oh, I mean, if you're a progressive, you watch Young Turks, you know they're all corporate Democrats and you know what it means. But remember, the people that watch MSNBC have never heard the term. Never heard it in their entire lives. They're like, what do you mean? Those are moderate Democrats, the ones that are the most reasonable. That's what every anchor on MSNBC told me. The most wonderful centrist like Claire McCaskill, who's one of the pundits on MSNBC. No, they're corporate Democrats. And for a senator with power and that could garner attention to say it is important. And then the second thing he did that was super important is he finally named them. He's like, it's Manchin and it's Sinema. Now you think, again, if you're a regular person out there, like, obviously it's Manchin and Sinema. But what you don't understand is that in Washington, naming a senator is a big breach of etiquette. Ooh, yes, it's obviously Manchin and Sinema. And Bernie, as a matter of strategy, so that's progressive strategy about how to fight back against the corporate wing of the party. But when it comes to the Democratic Party strategy, Bernie's absolutely right. You gotta say, hey, we don't have enough votes. I mean, I don't even love this strategy because I think it's disingenuous. I think a lot of the other guys are also corporate Democrats. But as a matter of like telling the people why they should vote, if they think you have enough senators and you're choosing not to do it, well, they'll hate you, and that's where we are right now. And they'll have complete apathy. But if you say to them, look, I don't have enough senators because those two corporate Democrats keep voting with the Republicans, so they're not really Democrats. I need more Democrats, not guys like that. Then people go, oh, okay, I can see that. Now, but then you got to tell them which kind of Democrat to vote for. And that's why what Bernie's doing is the third rail in Washington. They're like, are you saying there's a difference between Democrats? God damn right we're saying that. And so, but we've been saying it for 20 years on here, right? But it's really I know it sounds shocking, but it's true. It's really the first time that a Democratic senator has ever said that. And then I'm amused by Manchin's counterpunch.
Because he has to respond. That's another part about this. He has to start talking about how he's not a corporate Democrat.
Exactly, and now we got him on our moral high ground. Because number one, he steps into it by going, I could criticize him for being a socialist. First of all, as JR pointed out, you just did, okay? And secondly, have at it, Hoss. Like what, you think Bernie hasn't been criticized for being a socialist? Welcome to America, Joe. That's what every corporate douchebag anchor on cable news does every single time. Oh, on with us is socialist Bernie Sanders, who was gonna execute people if he won in Central Park. Okay, how do you answer for yourself, Bernie Sanders, you goddamn socialist? Did you not see the 2020 election? Did you not see the 2016 election where everyone called him a socialist 24/7? That's your big gun, Joe? Wow, I'm so scared of you. Okay, meanwhile, again, JR is 100% right. And Bernie said to me in the campaign, if he became president, he would go down, if Manchin didn't play ball, that he would go down and do rallies in West Virginia. Bernie, nothing's stopping you, go now. These are great first steps, but go down to West Virginia and pick one issue. Paid family leave, enormously popular. Or child tax credit, enormously popular. And go, okay, here's my socialist idea. I think that if you have a baby, you should be able to take some time off and not have to go back into a coal mine the very next day after you deliver. That's my idea. Joe says, no, you should go back into the goddamn mines, and if you get sick or your baby gets sick, that's your goddamn problem. Okay, let's have a debate, Joe. Let's have a debate. Bernie will crush you in that debate. Bernie, this is great. Keep going, brother. Keep going. Force him into that debate. And this is the third time I'm saying JR is 100% right. Manchin can't help himself. He'll step right into that trap. He'll be like, no, these are bums. You have the baby, throw it in the mine with you. I don't give a goddamn. I am a good moderate. Oh, I will work with the Republicans into crushing your little babies while we pretend to be pro-life. He'll step right into it. For God's sake, somebody in the Democratic Party, take him on already. Go, Bernie, keep going. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.